What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla King of the Monsters news and updates. So I'm feeling a bit inspired by the classical music-esque take that they did with the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer, so that's the kind of music that we're going to be playing throughout this video, throughout the background. I don't know why, I just figured it'd be peaceful and nice. Alright, so in this one, guys, we are going to be doing a breakdown of the IGN interview for Godzilla King of the Monsters. This interview was done with Michael Dougherty. I didn't actually write these names down, so I'm going to have to try and name them off the top of my head. We have Michael Dougherty, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, we had O'Shea Jackson Jr., and Thomas Middleditch, and that was all of them, I think. Either way, it was a pretty interesting interview. So, jumping into this, first of all, I love how the guy during this IGN interview will not call Ghidorah. He just calls him Monster Zero. I think that's pretty funny.
Monster Zero is my favorite. Monster Zero, Monster Zero, Monster Zero, Monster Zero, Monster Zero, Monster Zero, Monster Zero.
Clearly this guy, from the sound of it, seems to be a fan of the movies, but he seems to be more of a casual fan of the Showa era, as a lot of Godzilla fans are. That seems to be the majority of people who say, I'm a Godzilla fan. What they really mean is, I grew up watching the Showa era. So I'm not bagging on the guy at all, I'm just saying I find it kind of funny. Michael Dougherty starts out by confirming that the Kaiju, specifically Ghidorah, will be brought to life using performance capture in this movie so that they can continue the spirit of Suitmation, and that spirit will live on. Yes! You know, I'm super excited about that. We've been talking about it on the channel since Shin Godzilla, how performance capture, motion capture really is the next evolution of Suitmation, and I think it should be used in practice for the next Godzilla movies to come for all times, because it will give the characters more weight, it'll make them feel more realistic. It's just the better route to go than all CGI, and I'm very glad that they took that route with Ghidorah. And probably all the monsters. I think we will have a motion capture actor for Godzilla who did the motion capture for some scenes in 2014. I think he will be returning here as well. It is then confirmed that Godzilla 2 will take place 5 years after Godzilla 2014, meaning yes, it will take place in modern day in 2019. The movie will kick off and people will be debating whether Godzilla is a good guy or not. Yeah, after all, he did save the city from the Mutos, right? But there was some devastation caused at his hands as well. Look at Hawaii. He did flood the whole city. What city did he flood? Honolulu, I think? So people will be trying to figure out how Godzilla's gonna react to humanity. This is exactly what I was talking about. You know, I did my 15 things that need to happen when I was always saying we need to see more reactionary shots. We need to see how this impacts people. It really does seem like that Michael Dougherty kind of, not necessarily, I'm not saying he watched my videos, but I'm saying it feels like a lot of the things he's doing in this movie are going to be very similar to the ideas I pitched in my videos, my 15 things that need to happen that came out from, you know, back in 2015 all the way till now. Sounds like he will be actually doing a lot of the ideas, which makes me very happy. Clearly, again, I'm not saying he watched my videos. I'm just saying it's kind of cool to think that my hopes and dreams are coming true. So we also get confirmation that Emma Russell and Madison Russell will, quote, stick together for the entire movie. We now finally have confirmation on who Thomas Middleditch will be playing in this movie. He will be playing a character named Sam Coleman. He is a communications liaison between Monarch and the United States government. He specifically mentions Washington, and we'll get back to that in probably the next video. But basically the reason that's important is because Washington's seen destroyed by Rodan and Ghidorah in the trailer. So cool, it's cool to hear. He also gives a little bit of a spoiler, and by a spoiler a little bit I mean a huge spoiler. Now we know that him and Godzilla will be best friends.
And spoiler alert, I become BFFs with Godzilla at the end. We have a whole, they're gonna do a spin-off road trip with us.
You're like riding on his back.
I'm not gonna spoil it that hard, but yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That was clearly a joke. This guy actually seems like a pretty funny guy, Thomas Middleditch. He seems like a nice guy. I'd like to talk to him, but never gonna get to. Moving on. O'Shea Jackson Jr. says he will be playing a character named Barnes in the movie. Barnes will be the leader of G-Team, a grunt team of soldiers led by Monarch, and they will be running around on the ground during the monster fights. O'Shea Jackson Jr. mentions that they will be in between the feet of the monsters while the monsters are fighting in 2 separate interviews. That means, yeah, probably we will get a scene of exactly that, his character running around between Godzilla and Ghidorah's feet during a big fight scene. So I think that's really cool. We got a new G-Team. We have done a video on that in the past, how there will be a new updated G-Force for this movie, so that's nothing brand new, but thought it was worth mentioning that there's going to be a G-Team in this movie. I don't necessarily love the name. Sounds a little cliche, but I like the spirit of G-Force coming back. G-Force isn't too much of an original name either. It's a little hot in here. I'm going to take this off. Don't want to start sweating mid-video, right? Then Michael Dougherty goes on to say that Godzilla will have at least twice as much screen time in this movie as he did in the 2014 film. That's got to get you guys excited, right? Everyone loves Godzilla's screen time. So if we're going to take that at face value and say, yep, Godzilla will have twice as much screen time as Godzilla from 2014, we can all expect 20 minutes or more of Godzilla screen time in this movie. That's gonna be crazy. You guys know I'm not a huge proponent of having Godzilla have way too much screen time. I think 10 to 15 minutes is usually great. I'm fine with 20 minutes. We can have that and have it work. The movie seems to be like, what, 2.5 to 3 hours long, so it's gonna be a long movie. So yeah, I'm fine with 20 minutes of screen time for Godzilla. I always love to see Godzilla. Plus, we have the other 3 monsters who will have their own screen time. I kind of do wish that we could have gotten some build up to this. I'll do a video on it probably next week or maybe at the end of this week. Kind of wish we did a Ghidorah solo movie and a Mothra solo movie and a Rodan solo movie, because I feel like this movie is going to be very rushed. And you know, like I said, we'll talk about it more. I'm not saying that I don't have faith in this film. I'm just saying that there is the potential to have this movie be too overcrowded. So, like I said, we'll dedicate a full video to that so that you guys don't think I'm just complaining, because I'm not. I'm just saying, in my ideal world, we would have had some more build up to it. So that's right, guys. 4 monsters in this movie in total, right? Wrong. Apparently, Michael Dougherty, and he forgets about this when he does his interview. He literally flat out says, I forgot. He forgets that there are going to be more monsters in the movie. They go unnamed by him, but, I mean, who are they? We don't know.
Actually, there's more than 4. I forgot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a party.
We're getting all the
There's
intel.
this
More
beast.
than
There are reports from places like Amuru Island that maybe there'll be Toho monsters, but I'm not too sure about that, and I'll tell you about why. So a lot of people are getting very excited. Oh my God, we're having the 4 monsters: Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Mothra. And then we're having more Toho monsters in this movie. Mechagodzilla, Gigan, everybody, Hedorah. It's gonna be insane. Titanosaurus and Anguirus. We're getting a Destroy All Monsters movie. No, I don't think that's the case necessarily. I know the rumors or the reports are that they will be Toho monsters. I'm not convinced, all right? I think that there is the big potential that these unknown monsters, these unnamed monsters, could just be the Mutos from 2014. In fact, I'm 90% sure we will see the Mutos in Godzilla 2, and I'm willing to bet money on it. That's how sure I am. I'm sure we'll see them during a flashback scene that takes place during the end battle from Godzilla 2014. In fact, I'm so confident about that I'm going to dedicate a full video to the flashback scene coming up this week, because I'm so set in stone that we'll see the Mutos, that I'm willing to make myself look like a fool if we don't see them. No, but there could be, he could be talking about something else. I'm not gonna like make that as if that's the only new monsters or only additional monsters we could see. It is possible we could see Anguirus in this movie. We'll talk about some conspiracy theories going on regarding these characters, such as Anguirus, where he could be in the Monsterverse, what the Monarch website means for the Monsterverse, who's located where. Also, I think, hey, another monster that he could be referring to is King Kong. Kong could be in this movie. I'm not saying mainly in the movie. You know, they said that there will be breadcrumbs and mentions to Kong, not flat out Kong on screen, right? Wrong. I think that we will see Kong in a post-credits scene. That's just my personal feelings. So I guess when I say wrong, I really mean I hope you're wrong, because I really want to see Kong in a post-credits scene. But other than that, other monsters that we could see from Toho is second Rodan. A lot of you guys have been throwing this one out here recently. By the way, this isn't me being a crazy conspiracy theorist like I usually am. I've done it in the past. 2 Godzillas in the Monsterverse confirmed. 2 Kongs in the Monsterverse confirmed. 2, what else was the other one? 2 Godzillas in Shin Godzilla 2 confirmed. Well, I never said confirmed for that one. But, and I also didn't say confirmed definitively for any of them. But the point I'm trying to make is, usually, I guess that there's going to be two of the same monster in every movie. I failed myself. If I've done that for Monster Planet, I would have been actually right for once. But no, I think we really legitimately could see Rodan, a second Rodan in this movie. A lot of you guys have been supporting that theory and sending me that theory. A lot of you guys have really been using the original Rodan as your evidence. You know, we did see 2 Rodans in the original Rodan, right? So it's not impossible for us to see a second version of Rodan in this movie, or a second character with that design, a second Rodan species in this movie. And then the other big theory that's going around, the other big potential, is it's just another Mothra. Could have Mothra start as a larva in this movie, turn into an adult, die. Oh look, another Mothra baby. Now we have a new larva. Now we can have more Mothra movies. Or you could have Mothra start out as an adult in this movie, die, boom, you got your Mothra baby in here. Who knows? A lot of people really want it to be Anguirus or Gigan. We've already seen him, right? No, it's just some ancient god of some religion. I think it's Sumerian, I don't remember. Then there's people, Ebra, yes. I don't know. I think personally, I believe that it will be maybe another Mothra. Maybe we'll have 2 Mothras. Maybe we'll have 2 Rodans. We'll talk in a video, the next video probably, the Rotten Tomatoes interview breakdown, where Michael Dougherty says lots of monsters. Not going to say how many, but lots of them in this new movie. Well, we'll run through them, right? Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, Muto 1, Muto 2, King Kong. That's 7. That's 7 right there. So then if you want to keep going, you could go Rodan 2, Mothra 2. Boom. Now we have 9 monsters in Godzilla King of the Monsters, but really, we only have like 5 or 6, right? 5 or 6 species, that is. No matter what, Michael Dougherty forgot that these monsters were in the movie.
Actually, there's more than 4. I forgot.
Meaning that they won't play a big part in the plot. So don't be surprised if Anguirus shows up, it's just a cameo, right? That is a big potential too, just a cameo. They're not going to have a role in this movie, probably not going to have a big role in this movie, whatever these additional monsters are, no matter what. Also, Millie Bobby Brown seems genuinely surprised that there are going to be more than 4 monsters in this movie.
Man,
Yeah, it's a party.
we're getting all the
There's
intel.
this
More
space.
than
So they can't play that big of a part. And there are rumors that maybe we'll start the movie with an action scene. Maybe we'll start the movie how I always said we should start the movie, with the big Godzilla fight. Hey, he could be killing Anguirus right in the opening scene. We never know. It just could be a flashback to 2014 though. Or it couldn't even happen at all, because I don't know. Also, if you guys know spoilers, like the spoilers that have been leaked on 4chan, where the Godzilla plot is sort of kind of floating out there. No one really knows how much of it is true, but a lot of people think it's mostly true. Get out of my comments, please. I don't want to know anything about it. And from this point on, until 2019, until the movie comes out, I'm going to actively be blocking people on this channel who spoil stuff deliberately. So look out. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to post a spoiler-heavy comment that D-Man needs to see, you're ruining my fun. I'm doing these videos for fun. We're all having fun here. We all want to speculate. We all want to have a good time and not know everything before the movie comes out a year in advance. If you're gonna go around trying to ruin our fun, I'm gonna block you, because I don't need that. So if you've already posted a spoiler heavy comment in this comment section below, you may want to edit that comment, because I'm going to crack down on it. About the monster designs for this new movie, Michael Dougherty said that they started out with the designs for the monsters. They started out with the silhouettes. That's all he says, silhouettes. And then they built on from there. Maybe he's talking about the silhouettes from Kong Skull Island, or maybe he's just saying in general. I would hope that he's talking about Kong Skull Island. He says that these monsters, these new designs, will be very faithful to the Toho monsters. They will just be slightly redesigned from there to look more modern and more realistic. Ghidorah won't have any arms. Yes! And Ghidorah will have gravity beams in this movie, so it's not just lightning. It is gravity beams in this timeline. That's gonna be cool to see on screen. We'll see if the gravity powers related to that actually come into play, where they can lift monsters up, but I would doubt it. The gravity beams usually just shoot lightning, right? They usually don't actually lift anything off the ground. Each monster will have their own individual personality for this movie. That was to be expected. In addition to that, Ghidorah will have his own personality for each one of his heads, and they will all have slightly different roars. We also learned that the monsters will have the Toho roars back, yes! But they will be kind of redesigned and rebuilt to fit these new, fleshed out, modern day, gritty designs of the monsters. But basically, Michael Dougherty very heavily hinted throughout his thing that we will be getting the Showa roars for the monsters, especially Ghidorah, who he says will have the high-pitched chirping.
His head's like flailing around, like,
Yep.
And when I realized,
Wait, can you do that again?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that was
it's more like.
pretty nice.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, you're hired.
Hit it.
Yeah, if you need me to do it.
Great.
Have you already seen the movie? Because that's what happens in this one.
The roars that they do are also based on the old movies. So
Okay.
the little trill that you did is
Yeah.
fairly accurate. Yep.
Also, Michael Dougherty said he likes the idea that the Japanese names for the monsters are the, quote, real names. You know, I like that too. And then he goes on to say that Godzilla and Mothra, those kind of names, are just nicknames. I love that. I love that in this timeline, the real names for the monsters are the Japanese names because, hey, that's how it is in this real world too. The real names, they're the Japanese names. We're just saying the Americanized versions. One thing that I love about this interview is something towards the end when Michael Dougherty says that this movie was not forced to include any Kong Easter eggs at all.
Does your movie do anything to set up Godzilla versus Kong?
There's breadcrumbs, but it's not like we were forced to do it, but it's fun just to sort of mention Kong in passing.
They weren't pressured by the studio to put anything in. Oh, that is such a sigh of relief because you see movies like The Mummy, for instance, from the Dark Universe with Tom Cruise, and it is so blatantly trying to build a cinematic universe. It doesn't hide it at all. It's a trailer for the next movies, right? All it is, hey, look, here's your Dr. Jekyll. Here's your creature from the Black Lagoon Easter egg. Here's your Dracula. It's so on the nose, it's insane. And I'm glad that for this movie, they weren't forced by the studio to put these Easter eggs in here, but they felt that they could put them in naturally anyways in the form of subtle references to Kong and name drops. We also, we'll talk in another video more about how we also know that one of the characters from Kong Skull Island will make an appearance in this new Godzilla movie. That's very cool. And then Michael Dougherty goes on to say that this movie will be loaded with Easter eggs for the classic Godzilla fans. Heck yeah, more content for me in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Easter eggs
Oh
galore.
It's gonna be hard though. It'll be my my first Easter egg videos that I'll have to do while the movie's still in theaters. And then O'Sheen Jackson goes on to say that Godzilla vs. Gigan is his favorite Godzilla movie. And then Michael Dougherty, Jackson, and the interviewer guy whose name I don't know, they all gush about how brutal that movie is. Specifically Michael Dougherty.
Gigan?
Dude, yeah.
Oh man, like that was the one time where I was like, we might lose this one. Like, you know, Godzilla's looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I would have to, with the blades,
blade,
and
yeah.
it just hooks you
He
in.
bleeds in that one.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a lot of blood in that
Yeah.
one. So
They get
I
gory
gotta
in
go with
that.
that one, man.
But I love it. I love seeing that these guys are genuine Godzilla fans. So that does it for this one, guys. I would have included the other interviews, like the Rotten Tomatoes interview, but it would have gotten way too long, so we're going to cut it here. If you want to check out the original IGN interview, links in the description below. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. D-Man, out.